order is misplaced. It should not have been done. You have to wait and see what happens in the industry. And in a high-tech industry which is going through financial difficulties, will it have the capital to put in place and convert to an NGN within the space of 2 years? Tough call. If I were there, I would not make that call today. I would make that call in 2019.
Okay.
So I think that I'm absolutely clear about. I think it anticipates too much of the future in a situation where the future changes every 2 months. Second,
no, you're absolutely right about that.
So on the
yes, sir, go ahead.
I think that's a very large cut, and the problem is going to be this. Everybody and their grandmother know that Jio is putting out much more traffic onto other networks than it is receiving. Now, what that means is that if you reduce the termination charge, the principal beneficiary is Jio, because they are the ones who are dumping the traffic on the other networks. And that is going to be a problem because the amount of revenues involved there will be very large. And the guys who are existing incumbents are not going to take it sitting down. Now, this is an exact repeat of what happened in 2007. At that point, the IUC was reduced from 30 to 20. And these guys went to court. Once they were in court, we were stuck for 8 years, 7 years. And I can please take it from me, it took 1 year of solid work trying to dislodge it from the Supreme Court so that we could have, as a regulator, the right to issue a new regulation. And after that 1.5 years, we did a consultation and came to this. So my greatest fear is, once again, you are looking at prolonged litigation. And that's not good for this industry. That's just not good for the industry.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Khullar, to allude to the fact that we could possibly see extensive litigation. May I just take another minute, because, you know, you were responsible for the cut that we saw coming in 2000, and the last cut that we saw the regulator announced. You've raised the concerns over the 2000, that's right. You've raised the concerns over the traffic asymmetry. The incumbents claim that, look, in terms of cost recovery, the IUC is imperative because, you know, we continue to need to recover the costs and the investments that have already been put into place. And that argument is negated or rebutted from the other side. So, to put it simply, you know, how do you balance both sides? And from a consumer's point of view, Mr. Khullar, what is this going to mean?
Yeah, you have to balance both sides. You cannot veer to one side or the other. I mean, even last time, this whole problem of next generation networks and zero IUC and, you know, bill and keep, all of them were raised. All these issues were raised. And the problem is that in no country in the world, not one in the world, has there been any regulation issued by the regulator mandating bill and keep? Not one country. The only country where bill and keep has come into force is the United States, and that is on a voluntary understanding between the operators because traffic is balanced there. But wherever traffic is imbalanced, you simply cannot do this. It is wrong, it is wrong, patently wrong, because it is biased in one favor. Therefore, going to the extreme of bill and keep is patently wrong. Equally, and I must say that, equally, the incumbents will always argue to raise the IUC. And that is also wrong. So you need to develop some degree of scientific method and devise a sort of wire media which captures a balance of the interests of both sets of telecom operators, and you get to that middle path which both will live with. Both will be unhappy with it, but both will live with it.
Yes.
And, you know, in public administration, there's a saying that if you take a decision which keeps everybody unhappy, it's probably the right decision.
Well, that's a good note to end on. Mr. Khullar, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much for joining us. That's the former regulator who was responsible for...
Bye-bye.